Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I'm going to be bringing you a 1 vs 1 battle replay here in Total War Rome 2. This battle is going to have me playing as the Arverni versus Pontus, who is being played by Mummely, is the guy's name that I fought. And you can see our armies there. I'll go more in depth on the actual units once we actually get into the battle map here. And you can see I brought 3 Celtic skirmishers mixed with 3 Celtic slingers there, total of 6 skirmishing units. I've got a corps of 4 chosen swordsmen with 1 naked warrior on my right flank. I've also got 3 of these spear warriors, which are decently cheap spear units to ward off some cavalry. My general unit here is an Oathsworn, and that's my one really elite unit this battle. Which, you know, you definitely bring less of them now, considering the incredible amount of gold, or I don't know what it's actually called in this game. I don't know if they called it denarii or what. But that they now cost 1,300 to bring these elite units, which has been a major factor in balancing the game here. This is obviously after patch 9 has been released, and so far this is my 3rd battle from it. I fought 2 or maybe 3 battles, something like that, with Indie Pride from Milk and Cookies Total War, 2v2 battles there that we did looking at this patch. It was my first time playing multiplayer in a while, and this was my first 1v1 in a long time, now that the game has been what seems to be decently fixed balance-wise. At least you now have to bring a much more balanced force with how much the different units cost and everything, and some of the cheaper units have gotten buffs and everything as well. But for my cavalry, I've got 2 heavy horse here, a noble horse, and I believe another heavy horse over this way, so 3 heavy horse total, and that is my army. And my opponent up front has 5 of these Eastern archers. These guys have 150 range, so in an actual skirmish, at least long range, he's got the advantage over me since I only have 3 150 range units. Up close, my skirmishers should do more damage though. Also, he has 4 bronze shield pikemen and 5 Pontic swordsmen. Then for his cavalry, he's got 3 noble blood cavalry and a Pontic royal cavalry as his general unit. And so when I went into this battle, I was pretty certain off the bat that I was going to be at a disadvantage, mainly because his sword units are better than mine, his cavalry is better than mine, and it's just the way he's not planning on moving. He's got the better long-range skirmishing. I wasn't really sure how I was going to pull off a win here. And coupled with that, you'll see in a second, this is going to be one of the worst managed battles that you guys have ever seen me play. I make some ridiculously stupid micro mistakes, the first one being here. I'm sending my skirmishers forward. I shouldn't have had them attack from this far off, but I meant to have them walking forward and then have my infantry body come up behind them. But what happened is I moved this spear warrior unit over here with my cavalry to help ward off this cavalry, and I'm going to pause this for a second. So I had my units in a grouping. When I took these guys out of the grouping, it messed it up, so it wouldn't let me move my men in any way reasonable. It had them like spread out all over the map. And when I undid the group and redid it, it made them a straight line. So you'll see here, this cavalry of his is coming in, and it's got a straight shot at all of my skirmishers. And my men are coming up, and it makes them go into a straight line here. And this was just bad. Whoops, I don't know why Steam flashed there. But just really bad micro mistake on my part. So some of my skirmishers here are going to actually manage to get away. Sadly, this Celtic skirmisher unit is not. My infantry's rushing up, and these Pontic or noble blood cavalry here are not going to take that much damage from my skirmishers. So far they've lost a few men, lost about 4. But over here I charged my noble horse in on these noble blood cavalry, reinforcing them with some heavy horse. My Celtic slingers have moved up, although they're going to get caught by this Pontic royal cavalry, and I'm sending my spear warriors over to hopefully help with that. And then here I was going to have this heavy horse hit that unit of noble blood cavalry, but I have to bring them back to counter this noble blood cavalry so it does not get into my rear there. So things are getting really mixed up really quickly over here. You can see my whole army over here is in disarray because they did not line up properly. I'm trying to get them in a situation that's slightly manageable. Now, my opponent also is going to bring in a bronze shield pikemen here and a Pontic swordsman into this cavalry fight. Now, these guys are the real threat here, as pikes will destroy cavalry head on, but he makes a micro mistake and just kind of leaves them here like this. So they're not actually going to engage much of my cavalry from the front. Therefore, they're not going to do a lot of damage. And having my spear nobles or spear warriors in this fight is going to do a lot of damage to his general unit and any other cavalry he has. Also over here I am bringing over one of my chosen swordsmen, and we're going to get a charge into the back of these bronze shield pikemen. And this is exactly the type of engagement his pikes will want to avoid. My swords will cut through them as long as we're not, once again, fighting them directly head on. And so you can see these men duking it out in there. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do, once again, can't fight these guys head on. That's where they're dangerous. And with my units already not being quite as good as the units he has, I am going to shuffle onto his right flank with my men. This unit I probably should have moved over a little more, but you can see still getting a decently good amount of charge in on the flank there as these men fight it out, and you can see his pikemen just don't stand a chance when not fighting head on. Over here his men are doing a little bit more damage, but you can see his men just being cut up there. I've also got my units wrapping around and hitting his swords over here. So this is where the maneuvering is kind of saving me. It's helping me make his army have to get out of their formation. And here, this was a mistake on my part. I should have pulled back my Oathsworn and these chosen swords, and these guys will actually win in this fight, but still they're taking a lot more damage than was necessary because they're engaging those pikemen head on. And over here you can see my men are beginning to get the better of this fight. I've killed most of my opponent's cavalry over here. There's still a little bit of noble blood cavalry left, but I am going to be chasing down some of his units with my noble and heavy horse. Do a quick hammer and anvil over here. And meanwhile on this flank you can see these pikemen are in a fight with my spear warriors and chosen swordsmen, and he is backing them up with some Pontic swordsmen. So you guys can see some of this melee fighting here. These guys all duking it out. There's my chosen swordsman, one of them getting mercilessly cut down. Over here making some headway once again, getting some flanking going on these pikemen, and my cavalry came in from the back as well, so that's really going to hurt these guys here. And that guy getting mercilessly stabbed in the neck, that's going to be the end of them. Both these guys going down here. That guy losing a leg. So basically, kind of losing right there. I withdrew one of my units to kill this pikemen unit with a rear charge, because right now my one real hope is this Oathsworn unit. This is the best unit on the field right now, and if I can just unify my units a little bit, I might be able to pull a win out of this. I've still got these Celtic slingers, which somehow survived in the beginning, and they're still raining in some fire here. And my men are now in, once again, another fight with these Pontic swordsmen over here. You can see some of my men going down as well as some of his there. That guy getting decapitated. And that guy with an arrow in his neck, which can only be friendly fire since I did not bring any archers. But basically over this way, I've still got a slinger unit, and they are still putting some damage on these Pontic swordsmen. And I charged in this very depleted heavy horse because his men actually beat my chosen swordsman and I believe I had a spear warrior in there. So this cavalry unit is just to stall these men long enough so that hopefully my men here can successfully defeat this last Pontic swordsman over here. And my Oathsworn are cutting their way through this skirmishing unit. This guy with the funny stripes is about to get, yeah, just destroyed. Poor dude. But anyways, once again, one more of my units going to go ahead and rout. That's a Chosen Swordsman. I still have one, and my Oathsworn. My Oathsworn here are cutting their way through this Pontic Swordsman unit, and they're going to do it once again right over here, although they are outnumbered with the help of these Chosen Swordsmen, which we will watch these guys in their charge in. And this here is pretty much going to end the battle. So somehow I'm going to manage to pull a win out of a massive mistake of army management. That was really a terribly managed battle, but some lucky maneuvering at the end actually saved it. So good game to my opponent Mummely. If you guys look at the stats here, I deployed 90 more troops than he did. However, both of us lost more than we actually killed. That has to do with the skirmishers and the friendly fire. I killed a little over 10 more than he did, killing 1389. He killed 1374. Now, I lost 1,400 troops, 1417, and he lost 1397, so it was a extremely bloody battle there. Pyrrhic victory, but kind of fun to watch nonetheless. Just don't make mistakes like that. That battle should not have been that close. Either his formation, had he managed his troops a little bit better, he did have what I consider probably to be a little bit better of an army, so he could have, you know, tied up more of my units and successfully defeated me. Or had I not gotten a ton of my skirmishers killed in the beginning, because you can see his skirmishers did some damage. Mine actually did quite a bit of damage for how many of them died so quickly. Had they been in the fight a little bit longer, that could have done even more damage to his pikes and the sword. But anyways, once again, good game to my opponent. Now that patch 9's come out and the balance seems a lot better, there's a lot more possible army combinations that can actually win. I've been playing some more multiplayer, so you guys should be seeing some more replays soon. But thank you guys for watching. This was Robin Hood, and I will see you all next time with more.